But first, do not go anywhere. It has been described as one of the most terrifying films of 2020, but it doesn't involve ghosts and ghouls. It's actually about social media. Now, it is the incredible new documentary called The Social Dilemma, which explores the dark side of social media. I'd already been watching it before last night. I actually sort of finished rounding it off. I found it absolutely compelling, but I watched it just Nick and I as two adults, but you watched it with your girls, didn't you?
Yeah, it's so compelling. I think it's one of the most important films that's come out for a long time, and I urge everybody to watch it. I think it should be shown at schools, in schools as well. I mean, the thing is, for me, we all know this language. Oh, you know, social media companies sell our data. You know, Stephen Hawking famously always said the thing that the human race has to fear most is AI. And all this stuff sort of washes over you, and you think, oh, God, yeah, we're sold things we don't want to buy. You know, we're this, we're that. And we've got a kind of sense of what's been going on.
But we think we're in control.
But we think we're in control. But I didn't But this is such a brilliant film because they have the actual ex-employees from Silicon Valley that actually invented these things, the makers, and the horror in themselves of what they have done. You see, they're not just selling our data. What they're doing is they're selling the ability to manipulate us. Yeah. They talk about going deep into our brainstem and just in a very almost imperceptible, very slow, drip, drip way, they affect change in us.
Yeah.
And there were so many chilling moments. I mean, both my girls were terrified after watching it. And you know me, I love social media, and I think there's an awful lot of good, obviously, in social media. I'm not somebody that says we shouldn't have phones and we shouldn't engage, but I think this is a very, very important film because I hope that it forces us as a human race to demand change and to demand some kind of watchdog over what is happening. Yeah. I mean, one of the most chilling moments, though there was many, was when all these tech guys were asked what their greatest fear was. They said civil war, because what we don't understand is our searches go off into another place and into another place, and we are given an echo chamber. Whatever we believe in, it's just kept pumping out and pumping out. And we've lost the ability as a human race to really, really listen to each other. And you really do end up feeling like it's going to bring about the end of the world.
Well, I mean,
but there was hope at the end.
It is alarming, but it's also incredibly informative. And Saira, I want to ask you about this because obviously you're a very tech-savvy woman. How do you feel about, you know, your kids having mobile phones after seeing a programme like this?
Well, let me just address what Nadia's just said. Sure. Nadia has said that she believes that we as a human race have lost the ability to kind of control ourselves. I completely disagree with that. This whole documentary is about the fact that, yes, there are these issues that are out there in this world. It's about taking personal responsibility. Every single platform that is mentioned on that, Google, Facebook, Twitter, they are all free platforms. This is a personal choice for you to go in and take part. And when you take part, every single platform gives you security, notifications. You can turn them on and off. It gives you privacy. You have to set those settings. So if you are not engaging in the whole application and you're just mindfully going on about it, you have to take personal control.
I think you have to watch the film, Saira, because you haven't watched the film. And yes, I agree with what you've said, but when you watch the film and you watch the level of control way beyond, because how many people are actually completely in control of what they're watching?
No, but Nadia, I don't need to watch the film because my husband works in the whole. No, I don't, because what you're saying, it says that we as human beings are out of control. We are not. Now let me just give you an example. No, we're not, because when you take you're not, because what you're not in control of is actually your own feelings and your own understanding. So, for example, Twitter made my life hell, okay? And I kept going on and on. When I decided, hold on, this is making my life unhealthy, I'm getting upset, it's affecting my personal relationships, I came off the platform. I've never gone back. I've never joined Facebook. So you have to take responsibility. You have to understand how it affects you. When I gave my son a mobile phone at the age of 11 years old, I sat down with him and gave him a contract and made him understand the responsibility. I was laughed at as a parent for doing that. saying, what a joke, I can't believe she's given him a contract. It's a responsibility, and those parents who are not engaging with what their children are doing, it's lazy parenting. I'm really sorry to
watch
say
it,
that.
Saira.
I think
Saira,
a lot
can
of
I
it
let
is
Linda come
fear
in
of
here?
missing out. I mean, I was completely addicted to social media, and I'm not very good. I'm not very savvy with all of this stuff. But it completely took over my life. So I'd take the phone up to bed with me. I'd wake up in the night and I'd be looking on Instagram to sit, and I felt like I'd had to answer everybody. I'd have to speak to everybody. I was on Twitter. I came off of Twitter, and now what I've done is I've come off of all social media. My children have taken over my social media. I don't bring the phone up to bed with me anymore. I leave that downstairs. But also, the kids, like Lila was at her cousin's house and she saw a clip of a clown on something, and she's been having terrible, terrible nightmares since then. And it's like so upsetting because she didn't mean to. It was like an advert or something that came up, and Lauren is in control of what she sees. She doesn't do TikTok, she doesn't do anything. But since then, she's not been sleeping, so she has to go into bed with Lauren or Steve. She keeps getting up in the middle of the night, and she even said to me, Nan, I wish I could erase what I saw, but I can't. And I've actually showed her the picture of what the clown looked like in real life. I said, you know, Nanny goes to work and she puts makeup on. That's exactly what he's done. He's not a scary person and that. But it's like the young ones are getting into all this social media far too young.
Yeah, and they say
But
that's
there
what
are
we
so
need
many
to legislate.
But there are so many security help there on the actual apps to stop that from happening, and you need to understand that. So, for example, I know when Zach's using the phone. I know when he can download something. I'm in control. I can see what's happening, so you can prevent a lot of that from happening.
Do you know, it's such a shame that we have to leave it there, because this
Really
is genuinely something that we could talk about for the full hour, and because we all have such strong and great opinions on it all. But what I would say to those of you at home, watch it. It's an incredible documentary. It's called The Social Dilemma, and it is on Netflix.